He reads Michael Ondaatje. What more can one say? He reads Michael Ondaatje, and he wants all of you to know that he reads Michael Ondaatje. He lives by the code of Michael Ondaatje. He keeps Michael Ondaatje books under his pillow, hoping that the Michael Ondaatje words will seep through to his brain and fill him with the Michael Ondaatje genius. He even eats Kellogg's Ondaatje cereal for breakfast. Toasted oat Billy the Kids with marshmallow blur viaducts. A daily serving of Michael Ondaatje is vital for a healthy, growing muse. And what a kind, generous man he is to use his Ondaatjian wisdom for the good of others. He revels in his self-appointed role as a mentor to his inferiors. How much he has to offer to young poets and spoken word performers. He attends every poetry and fiction reading, evaluating everyone on the open stage by his great Ondaatjian scale. With infinite patience, he sits and listens, stroking his sophisticated gray beard, making mental notes on where each writer has room for improvement. After hearing you read, he is eager to point out all of your mistakes and weaknesses to you directly, for your own good. You do not even need to ask him. You must read your work more slowly, he tells all the hip-hop poets. You must enunciate every word carefully, my friend, or no one will take you seriously. To the goth poets, he says, you are wrong to choose subject matter so dark and angry. No reader will ever relate to you. Why not choose more elevated themes, with an outlook more objective and mature? Write of nature, my friend. Write of subtle beauty and inner peace. This is where your heart truly lies, under your cold, hard shell, whether you know it or not. And how can anyone brush off the words of a man who reads Michael Ondaatje? Of course you can't. You can't bear the weight of his impenetrable credibility. And if you ever forget how much more experience and fame he has than you do, never fear, he will remind you. Yes, for more than 40 years, he has been published around the world. He has performed poetry in venues all over North America. He has read on radio and TV and taught creative writing in universities. He has won prizes for his contributions to art. He has taken vacations with Seamus Heaney and dined with Toni Morrison, but more, much more than this. He reads Michael Ondaatje. He sits back and remembers those glorious days, so many years ago, when he had his weekly coffee chats with the old gang. Yes, oh yes. Nothing like talking shop with Margaret, Timothy, Robertson, Mordecai, and Leonard. And just as now, he was always willing to help other writers improve their work. Oh, he never missed a moment to show the old gang where they'd gone wrong. Now, Timothy, he once said with laughter, don't be ridiculous. No one is going to sit through 200 pages of prose about some soldier who tries to save a few horses. You expect too much of your reader. Why not choose a more efficient format to express Robert's emotions? A simple short story would do, or perhaps one stanza of free verse. Learn to restrain yourself, my friend, or you bore your audience with dull narrative details. What a pathetic fool Timothy was not to follow such sage advice. Well, it was his loss. Not many people had the hubris to ignore the input of a man who had wrestled Ernest Hemingway, slept with Gore Vidal, played chess with V.S. Naipaul, and would, one day, read Michael Ondaatje. But the man's great stature of literary expertise conceals an equally great humility. A humility he can only express before the sight of his idol. He anticipates every Ondaatje public reading with an excitement worthy of the second coming. Michael! Oh, Michael! He longs to scream from the audience like a teenage girl at an Elvis concert. I am not worthy to bathe in your imagery, Michael. Before you I am as weak and muddled as the English patient. I am as absent as Ambrose Small. I am as mutilated as Caravaggio. But oh, Michael, In your name have I tried to bear good literary fruit. In your glorious name will I weed out the bad seeds among the writers, Michael Ondaatje. In your righteous name will I can-litify the world. Consider me your eternal, humble servant. And he will close with the sign of the O. And then he will be filled with Ondaatjian grace. And he will feel the miraculous healing power of the Ondaatjian spirit. And he will go home and pray to Ondaatje for salvation. And he will live in the pure Ondaatjian faith. And he will continue to spread the word of Ondaatje and convert literary sinners to his way. And every day, so long as he lives, he will always read Michael Ondaatje.